From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, August 24th, 2016. Silver is trading at $18.91 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,338 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $587. Antiwar.com reports, repeatedly demanded by Turkey for a solid month, the U.S. has finally confirmed a formal request for the extradition of exiled cleric Fethullah Gulen, but they say the request had nothing to do with Turkey's month of repeated claims that he was the ringleader in the failed July military coup. That does not clarify things a lot, since Gulen has been blamed for materially everything that's gone wrong in Turkey since he split with the ruling party, and the State Department statements did not shed any additional light, saying only it is obviously related to other reasons for which they want him extradited for. Previous indications were that Turkey sent a substantial series of documents in seeking Gulen, but that it had included no evidence of his involvement in the coup. Despite this, Turkish officials have repeatedly and publicly insisted they wanted him extradited because of the coup. The U.S. Justice Department sent agents to Turkey earlier this week to gather their own evidence related to the potential extradition of Gulen. This has led to the assumption that the U.S. extradition would be largely based on what they are able to dig up on Gulen and not Turkey's own allegations. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports a federal appeals court on Tuesday said police officers cannot stop and search vehicles belonging to out-of-state motorists simply because of where they reside, including states where cannabis is legal. By a 2-1 vote, the 10th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in Denver said 2 Kansas Highway Patrol officers violated the constitutional rights of Colorado motorist Peter Vasquez in December 2011 by pulling him over and searching his car after he had been driving alone at night on Interstate 70. The officers relied heavily on the residency of Vasquez to justify the search, which uncovered nothing illegal, saying Colorado was a known drug source where cannabis is legal. But the court said that would justify searching motors from the 25 U.S. states that permit cannabis for medical use and the 4 states, including Colorado, plus Washington, D.C., where recreational use is allowed. Circuit Judge Carlos Lucero wrote, "It is time to abandon the pretense that state citizenship is a permissible basis upon which to justify the detention and search of out-of-state motorists, and time to stop the practice of detention of motorists for nothing more than an out-of-state license plate." The decision revived the civil lawsuit by Vasquez, who is seeking damages from officers Richard Jimerson and Dax Lewis for violating his Fourth Amendment rights against unreasonable searches. A lower court judge had dismissed the case in 2014. The Chief Justice of the 10th Circuit Court dissented, saying the case was a close call, but that a reasonable officer might have thought Vasquez's travel plan suspicious and the search acceptable. Jennifer Rapp, a spokeswoman for the Kansas Attorney General Derek Schmidt, said he intends to ask the entire appeals court to review the panel's decision. If you're fed up with the government running every aspect of your life, but you're not listening to the Lava Flow podcast yet, what's wrong with you? Go right now to thelavaflow.com/listen. The Lava Flow podcast, channeling the flow of information to the libertarian, anarcho-capitalist, voluntarist, and agorist community. Subscribe today using any podcatcher at thelavaflow.com/listen, or just go back to sucking up to the government. The Lava Flow podcast, striking the root every episode. Reuters reports a U.S. Labor Board decided Tuesday that student assistants at private colleges and universities are considered employees of the school, which means they have the right to unionize if they wish. The National Labor Relations Board voted 3-1 in a case involving assistants at Columbia University in New York City who petitioned to join a labor union nearly 2 years ago. In its decision, the panel effectively acknowledged that graduate assistants are covered under federal labor law because there is no clear language in the National Labor Relations Act that prevents their right to unionize. The ruling reverses a 2004 decision involving Brown University that the National Labor Relations Board said deprived an entire category of workers of the protections of the act without a convincing jurisdiction. The decision remands the matter to the board's Manhattan office for further review. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.